Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to share with you how to be raw and real with a camera, how to be yourself, how to be able to just turn on the camera and just unmute yourself and speak and express your deepest weirdo and assist people and even make money doing that. That's essentially what people come to me, a part of why people come to me for assistance to help them do that, to release those blocks, to be able to just flip a camera on and just express yourself. If you have this thing where you're fine, like connecting with people, but then as soon as the camera comes on and you have to actually like express your deepest insights and your truths, even though you want to do that, you have a desire to do that, but there's this block that comes up where you just feel really weird and strange and you start to edit yourself and then you just stop and you don't do it. I'm going to show you how to do that or my take on how to do it. And most importantly, how to do that consistently without that annoying little voice in your head that tells you to stop winning over. I've been doing this shit for a long time. I've built a lot of cool things with this skill of being able to just flip the camera on and just speak from my heart. And what I do these days predominantly is just do that with zero scripts at all. I like right now, all I have is just an idea about this video. I have no idea what I'm going to say next, but I'm just moving my lips and it seems to be coming out just fine. So I'm going to share with you what I've learned through my journey because it's been a journey. It's been a learning skill, and I'm consistently getting better and better and better at it. My goal always is to be real, authentic, and raw, and to speak with conviction about the things that I have conviction about. And that's a secret. The number one thing that you need to have conviction about is that you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. And if you just get that, then everything else is pretty easy because you don't. I don't. Okay. You got to make peace with the fact that you have some knowledge, you have some cool shit to say, and you're also a human. You're a weirdo. Okay. You're an idiot. You're an asshole. You're beautiful. You're ugly. You're fucked up. You're like everything. All right. And the reason why it's so hard for people is because the camera has this effect of just magnifying your stupidity. And if you're not okay with that, it's gonna fuck you up. Okay? It will magnify your stupidity, your ugliness, all the places where you judge yourself, right? All your little shadows. It's gonna magnify that for you. So if there's a place where you're hiding, okay, you're fucked. It's just gonna throw it in your face and it's gonna be really, really hard. It's going to be easy if you have a script and you have something to say and you can put up a little persona of I'm this somebody talking about this thing. But as soon as it comes to just the raw, real, uncensored stuff with just you and that little pinhole camera just staring you into the soul and knowing all your secrets, it's going to get a little terrifying. Your throat's going to clamp up. Couple that together with any kind of trauma that you have may or may have not experienced in your life, which is also part of the process about not being able to speak or being punished for for your voice, being punished for speaking out the truth. We'll get to that in a minute. Then of course it gets even more difficult, and a lot of us have been punished for speaking out as kids for speaking about the truth, or we've been modeled behavior where it's not okay to say the truth. And quite frankly, in our civilization, so-called civilization, our society, it's a big point of contention right now, the truth and being able to speak out about things. Right? I mean, I was going to say, like, not so long ago, we would be stoned to death and, in prison for speaking about the truth, but that's actually still happening. So it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with. And you got to have compassion for yourself throughout this process. I will say that really at the base of it, it's not like one magical thing that you do and then you're just like comfortable doing it. Okay, it is a process, and you got to start looking at it as a liberating process to heal your own voice and heal your own self. Like one of the reasons why I'm good at being authentic and real is because I just love this. I love this because it's healing for me. Every single time I make a video, it's like I get to just express myself, my own voice, my own wow, it just feels so fucking liberating. Most of the time we live in these boxes, it's just like, I gotta be somebody. But here I can just be nobody with you. And it's awesome. It's healing. So even just that reframe can change so, so much of this process. One of my favorite authors, Stephen Pressfield, talks about this. He says, really what we're ultimately craving for is our own voice, the freedom of our own expression, of that deep connection to the truths that want to come out. He doesn't say it exactly that way, but it's one of the main points in one of his books called Turning Pro, which is a freaking awesome book. I highly recommend it. It's your own voice that you're craving, and it's your own truth. And if you can see it as a healing process to get that out, then we can drop this whole idea. Cat just started. I fed you this morning. It's how you repay me. This cat just started clawing at my leg. I forgot what I was saying, right? The reframe on, come on, the reframe on that being a healing process takes us away from this thing of like, I have this block, I gotta get over it. What do I do? Oh, the pressure. No, like, let's just drop it. What if it's just art? What if it doesn't have to look in any way that you think it has to look? Or if we can drop all the bullshit that you built up on how you need to sound, how you need to present yourself. Maybe there's something deeper and more organic that wants to come through. But my point is that it's like if you see someone like me, like being authentic and real on camera, that's like the tip of the iceberg. The real work is underneath. And for me, what I've noticed, what sets me apart um, from, okay, at least this is what I think, the capacity to tell the truth. Okay. One of the things you'll notice about me if you get to know me in person, if we work together, is that I'm extremely transparent. Okay. Like, I'm the type of person that if you ask me, how are you? Like, I will actually tell you. And sometimes it's something you might not want to hear. I've taken this to the extreme in my life at one point. I was going through a heartbreak and the girl at the checkout aisle was like scanning the items, beep, beep. And she was like, how are you? And my heart's breaking into a billion pieces. Oh, she didn't know what to say to that, of course. I've learned to reel that back a little bit because in some points, that's not really relevant. But my point is, we have grown up, majority of us, in an environment where, have you ever noticed this as a child where you're like looking at your parents and the environment and you're very sensitive, so you can feel that people are feeling one thing, thinking another, and saying another. It's like a trifecta of completely different energies meshing together because people are like, they feel one thing, they feel afraid to say what they feel. And then there's like a thinking process around trying to remove yourself from those emotions and trying to manage those around others for their own safety or your own safety, especially if you live in an emotionally unsafe environment. And then they're saying something completely different to manipulate each other in that realm. I don't know if that's been your experience. Maybe you've been blessed with something else, but I definitely grew up in an environment like that. I remember one funny incident. My dad, who was an alcoholic when I was growing up, um, crashed the family car, which was also like the main source of income for him because he was a taxi driver in Poland. And it was this long story. It wasn't even him driving; it was one of his like friends or a woman he was maybe seeing. And my mom was very upset. And so I was just like listening to this argument, as this innocent like 5-year-old boy, going, "Wow, this is interesting." And then my friend called me out from below the balcony in the apartment we were living, and he was like, "Casper, come out to play." And I was like, I came out on the balcony and I was like, "I can't right now. My dad totally fucked up the car and we have no money," or something like that. And he was drunk, like screaming this out into the whole neighborhood. The truth, the raw, unfiltered truth. Hey, man, this is just what's going on right now. And of course, my mom comes running out, just like yanks me back into the apartment, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm just saying the truth." And of course, receiving the information that was not the thing to do. And I'm like, Okay, so this is what we do. We just hide our shit from others. Okay. And isn't that the case? Isn't that what all of us have learned to somehow hide our shit as if it's normal, as if like we have to do that. It feels natural, no? Like, okay, like maybe I had a booger in my nose, so I won't show that to people if it's like coming out. Like, but why? Like, why do I have to hide the ugly part of life? Why? Really ask yourself why. Like, if you go there, that's like 90% of the work. Like right now, I'm just like staring at you, going, like most people are just like, okay, I'm gonna edit that out because it's like and it's wasting people's time. There's a short attention span. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so fuck off if you have a short attention span. Okay, cool. Like you're still here, great. Oh, awesome. No, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of this like managing of my persona. I want to be free. So this is like what I see the crux of the problem is that people like get on camera and the camera will magnify because it just won't lie. It's just you looking into a mirror of your own projection of whoever it is you're talking to. Okay. And of course, you can kind of trick yourself. You can sometimes I help you pair people say, like, okay, no, you just want to imagine like the best person on the other side who loves you, really wants to hear. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I kind of don't care. I kind of want to see everybody. I want to see the people who are like also like freaking out, and maybe judging me a little bit. Ooh, that's kind of scary. Great. But I know something you don't know. I'm not afraid to hide. All right, so now that I'm actually editing this clip, I just realized I should have actually said I have nothing to hide. Not afraid because I have nothing to hide, which just goes to show you you can still be a retard when you channel your soul on camera. And actually, what I found is the more willing you are to appear like a moron and a retard, the more people actually trust you and attribute intelligence to you. Try it out. It's a funny thing. And that's where the power really lies in. One of my earliest coaches once told me, Casper, the person in the room that is the most powerful person is always the person with the fewest secrets. Ooh. The person who has the most power has the fewest secrets. Not power over other people, but internal power. When you have nothing else to hide, like what are you gonna press on? What is the judgment there? Nothing. And so my secret with this is like because it happens to me all the time. Like I've just gotten used to it. When I flip the camera on, when I just speak, when I just roll with whatever, or if I'm working with people, it's just assuming that it's a healing process. And as things come up, I just lean into them and go, oh, okay, I see you too. I see you. I see you, this tendency that is telling me I'm just talking too much. I see you that this isn't right. This isn't perfect. I see you that they don't love you. I see you that you think this, they'll tell you you're stupid. I see you. I see you. I see you. And the more you see that part of yourself and just keep staying present, then like it's okay. You can do your thing. You can do your thing. And your real thing is going to start to shine forward because a lot of what this is just like this pent up idea that you have on how this is has to be how it all has to be presented, right? And um, it'll come up as this like paralyzing force of like here in your throat. No, I gotta like redo the take or do it differently or it's not good. What I found is if you lean into that feeling instead of marking that as a signal that it actually means something, it releases. And if you can give that feeling a voice, holy shit, that's when your real power comes back. I discovered this actually once when I was in the earlier part of this process. I'd like flipped on a camera and just like spoke. And I must have done it like 30, 40 times where I was like, I spoke for 30 seconds and this lump would just appear in my throat. And then I would like pause and, okay, I'm going to do it again. And I started recording again. It happened over and over again. This lump came and I was like, fuck, I fucked it up. Fuck, or I fumbled a word or whatever. So like the 30th time I'm doing it and the lump comes up again. I'm like, fuck no, okay. I can't. Not one more time. I just closed my eyes mid-sentence and I felt into the lump. And I let the lump speak. And holy shit, my voice dropped down to like a whole new level. And it was saying things that I had not planned. My lips were moving. I wasn't thinking. The lump was expanding into my chest. And energy came through that was more powerful, more grounded than before. And this lump had very different ideas about what needed to be said. It didn't want to manage the result or the outcome. Things got exciting. It didn't care about people's opinions. It was very raw and very unfiltered. It was awesome. Like was a launching point out for a lot of what I did since then. And it got me thinking, like, maybe the lump actually is the fear that I'm gonna come unleashed. Maybe this entire block isn't some insecurity about who I am and how I look, but actually you're fucking terrified of your own power. And of course, why wouldn't you? Your entire life, you've been told that your power is wrong. We have been conditioned to not speak the truth, or else you might be punished, imprisoned, killed, murdered, tortured, raped, whipped, fucking crucified. I wonder why. I wonder why mere words of someone speaking could drive other people, other men, to such lengths of fear where they have to defend themselves against words. I wonder why. Maybe you are more powerful than you have ever imagined, and that's what's actually hiding inside of you. So consider that. Consider that as a fucking awesome pill to swallow. Hope this helps.